2 Kings chapter 10. And to Ahab were 70 sons in Samaria. And Jehu wrote a scroll, and sent it unto Samaria, to the rulers of Samaria, and to the elders, and to the wet nurses of the sons of Ahab, saying, And now, whenever this scroll comes to you, and with you are the sons of your master, and with you are the chariots and the horses, and fortified cities and weapons, that you shall look for the good and the upright one among the sons of your master, and you shall place him upon the throne of his father, and you shall wage war for the house of your master. And they feared exceedingly, and said, Behold, the 2 kings stood not against his face, and how shall we stand? And they sent the ones over the household, and the ones over the city, and the elders, and the wet nurses, to Jehu, saying, We are your servants, and all as much as you should say to us we shall do. We will not give anyone rain. The thing good in your eyes we will do. And Jehu wrote to them a second scroll, saying, If you are with me, and you listen to my voice, take the heads of the men of the sons of your master, and bring them to me at this hour tomorrow in Jezreel. And the sons of the king were 70 men, of whom the stout men of the city nourished them. And it came to pass, as the scroll came to them, that they took the sons of the king, and slew them, 70 men. And they put their heads in baskets, and sent to him in Jezreel. And the messenger came and reported to him, saying, They brought the heads of the sons of the king. And he said, Place them in 2 hills by the door of the gate until morning. And it became morning, and he came forth and stood, and said to all the people, You are just. Behold, I confederated against my master, and I killed him. But who struck all of these? See that there shall not fall of the saying of the Lord unto the ground, of which the Lord spoke against the house of Ahab. And the Lord did as much as he spoke by the hand of his bondman Elijah. And Jehu struck all the ones being left among the house of Ahab in Jezreel, and all his stout men, and his well-known men, and his priests, unto his not leaving behind a vestige. And he rose up and went into Samaria, and he was in Beth-Akkad of the shepherds in the way. And Jehu found the brothers of Ahaziah, king of Judah, and he said, Who are you? And they said, We are brothers of Ahaziah, and we came down in peace of the sons of the king, and the sons of the woman being in power. And he said, Seize them alive. And they seized them, and they slew them in Beth-Akkad, 42 men, and he left not a man from out of them. And he went from there, and he found Jehonadab, son of Rechab, in the way for meeting him. And he blessed him. And Jehu said to him, Is your heart straight with my heart, as my heart is with your heart? And Jehonadab said, It is. And Jehu said, Then if it is, give your hand. And he gave his hand, and he hauled him to himself upon the chariot. And he said to him, Come with me, and see in my zealousness to the Lord. And he sat by him in his chariot. And he entered into Samaria, and struck all the ones left of Ahab in Samaria, unto obliterating him, according to the saying of the Lord, which he spoke to Elijah. And Jehu gathered together all the people, and said to them, Ahab served to Baal a little, Jehu shall serve to him much. And now call to me all the prophets of Baal, and his priests, and all his bondmen. let not a man be overlooked, for I make a great sacrifice to Baal, and whoever overlooked shall not live. And Jehu did it by trickery, that he might destroy the bondmen of Baal. And Jehu said, Sanctify a service to Baal. And they proclaimed it. And Jehu sent in all Israel, and all the bondmen of Baal came. There was not left behind a man who did not come. And they entered into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was filled mouth unto mouth. And Jehu told to the ones over the house wardrobe to bring out garments for all the bondmen of Baal. And the keeper of the wardrobe brought them forth to them. And Jehu entered, and Jehonadab son of Rechab, into the house of Baal. And he said to the bondmen of Baal, Search and see if there is with you bondmen of the Lord, for there is to be only the bondmen of Baal alone. And they entered to offer the sacrifices of the whole burnt offerings. And Jehu stationed for himself outside 80 men. And he said, A man whoever should preserve any one of the men whom I bring in unto your hands, his life will be for his life. And it came to pass, as he completed offering the whole burnt offering, that Jehu said to the bodyguards and to the tribunes, In entering, strike them, let not come forth from out of them a man. And the bodyguards and the tribunes struck them by the mouth of the broadsword. And they tossed the bodies, and went unto the city of the house of Baal. And they brought forth the monument of Baal, and burnt it. And they tore down the monuments of Baal, and they demolished his house. And the house of Baal they established for a bathhouse until this day. And Jehu removed Baal from out of Israel, except from the sins of Jeroboam son of Nebat, who led Israel into sin. Jehu did not abstain from after them, of the heifers of gold in Bethel and in Dan. And the Lord said to Jehu, Because you did good to do the upright thing in my eyes, and you did according to all the things in my heart to the house of Ahab, your sons unto the 4th generation shall sit down for you upon the throne of Israel. And Jehu did not guard to go in the law of the Lord God of Israel with his entire heart. He did not abstain from the sins of Jeroboam son of Nebat, who led Israel into sin. In those days the Lord began to cut down in Israel, and Hazael struck them in every border of Israel, from the Jordan, according to the rising of the sun, all the land of Gilead of the Gadites, and of Reuben, and of Manasseh, from Aroer, which is upon the edge of the rushing stream Arnon, and Gilead, and Bashan. And the rest of the words of Jehu, and all as much as he did, and all his dominations, and the associations which he joined, behold, are not these written upon the scroll of the words of the days of the kings of Israel? And Jehu slept with his fathers, and they entombed him in Samaria. And Jehoahaz his son reigned instead of him. And the days which Jehu reigned over Israel were 28 years in Samaria.